Into the Cibolo Schertz area in the near future and you're wondering what the commute times might be or what the future development of the cities are currently, or maybe where the parks and trails are, what school districts are offering what, and maybe where the best neighborhoods might be to avoid the most traffic. Well, stay tuned to the end. I'm going to give you the best neighborhood if I was choosing to buy a home in Cibolo or Schertz area, where I would choose to buy if I had another chance. My name is Anthony Sharp and I currently live in Cibolo. I focus all throughout San Antonio helping military vets, active duty veterans, retirees buy or sell their home, whether it's the west side at Lackland, Camp Bolas, Randolph, Fort Sam, you name it. One thing that's in particular about this video is there's a lot of moving pieces in Cibolo and Schertz, so hopefully this map tour kind of covers all that. So let's just dive right in. If you stay tuned to the end, like I said, I'm going to give you the neighborhoods. I'll give you two neighborhoods where I would choose to avoid the most traffic, get the best commute times, the best schools, and the best foods and restaurants. All right, as you can see, so Schertz and Cibolo Universal, they're all really close to each other, within 3 to 5 miles tops. And one thing in particular about this is there's major roads that go throughout the cities in towards Randolph Air Force Base, as you can see right here. What I want to point out to you is the farm to market roads, or we'll start off with Schertz Parkway, which goes from the 35 all the way down here. And you can see Schertz is located here. This is kind of their downtown Schertz area. And then Roy Richards, which is also known as Farm to Market or FM 3009. This road is not nearly as congested as FM 1103 can be, but we're going to dive into that in a little bit. But first, I wanted to kind of point out these two roads that go in between the 35 and take you to FM 78. Traffic is a big deal. And what I see the biggest mistakes are when families move here is they move into a neighborhood that has a ton of traffic, either getting out of the neighborhood or into a very congested road that takes them to work. And honestly, a road that should take 15 minutes to get to Randolph or maybe 25 minutes to Fort Sam is sometimes taking them up to an hour simply because they didn't see this video and seeing where they can avoid the most traffic. So traffic is huge. This is the first topic I'm going to dive into this video. And myself, when I first moved to Cibolo, I was not sure what road was offering which roads are in construction. So there's a lot to it. So if you're picking Schertz, honestly, you want to kind of stay within the Schertz Parkway area, kind of zone in here a little bit. These neighborhoods all off of Schertz Parkway, a lot of people end up liking this a lot because you can take Savannah Drive all the way down to 1518. There's another Schertz complex for soccer fields all throughout here. A lot of families go here for soccer. This 1518 can also take you a back road to Schlater Brewing. You can take it to, honestly, you take the base. However, there is a railroad track, a train that's very active throughout this area. So I want to kind of point that out. You kind of see it on the map here. This is a railroad track and this train runs very, very frequently throughout the day. I will say the conductors pick the worst times to run the trains. Usually at like 7:30 in the morning, they're running a train, or 4:30 in the afternoon. Whatever the case is, I feel like they've projected the worst times to run that train, and that's what they do. They'll run it throughout the worst time. So you kind of want to keep that in mind when you do move here. I live in Cibolo, and I don't really find it to be that big of a nuisance. My wife travels to Randolph every day mostly, so she gets in around 8 o'clock, so she will complain about the train quite a bit. Nothing really we can do if you're staying in Cibolo Schertz area, just something to be aware of. I don't like families knowing that there's not a train that runs through here. Also, Schertz does extend all the way to this 1518. There's a cutoff here, right when you get to this Lower Seguin Road, and you're gonna actually hit this 10. This is all Schertz. One thing, this is 1518, Farm to Market 1518. One thing about this road is it's terrible. Honestly, right now, there's not enough lanes for all these communities to go in and out of 1518. However, if you're going to Fort Sam, I will say, and I will advise, this is actually a good area because you can take this 10, the I-10 here, and take this all the way to Fort Sam. This is a straight shot, and it's not going to be nearly as bad as like FM 78 is going to Randolph. So Fort Sam, definitely let's take a look at some of these communities. There's a lot of neighborhoods in here that people look for. Haley's Cove's a big one. That's a very popular neighborhood here. They also have some good school districts, but we'll cover that in a little bit later. So we've got 1518 covered, Schertz Parkway, 3009. I want to kind of cover this a little bit. There's a ton of restaurants and neighborhoods all up and down FM 3009. It says Roy Richards here. Everyone's going to call it 3009 here. So One thing to know about is it's honestly, you got a big HEB plus here that stays congested. So that one, I try to avoid that at all costs. There's another HEB in Cibolo right down here that I love. I prefer that over the Schertz one all day. So the neighborhoods that back off at 3009, it's not terrible. Honestly, Deer Crest is out there, Woodland Oaks, you've got a lot of neighborhoods that people, they really do like it out there. A lot of older homes. You're not going to find new construction off of 3009 too much. In fact, I can't think of a single neighborhood right now that's off of 3009 that's brand new. So if you're looking for those new options, you're going to probably go towards Cibolo area. 3009 here, there's a lot of in and outs that can take you from Schertz Parkway. 3009, which is super convenient. Green Valley is a very, very popular road that takes you from 3009 all the way to Cibolo Valley. So I'm going to kind of cover 3009 is a great location. If you're looking for neighborhoods that back into 3009 or are off of 3009, I think you're in a good spot. I really do think those neighborhoods are ideal depending on your budget and your preference. Moving into Cibolo. So let's say we take this Green Valley Road, very common road. A lot of people take this to get to Cibolo Valley. Cibolo Valley, again, you see these three roads, 1, 2, 3. They all back into, they come off of the 35 here. Cibolo Valley has just got redone, so the roads are really smooth, thankfully, because they were super rocky. And what you'll hear about Cibolo is the road conditions. We are up and coming on the infrastructure here. Schertz has done a pretty good job keeping and maintaining their roads. Cibolo is a little backdated. I'm saying probably 5 to 7 years behind what they should be with their roads, and I'll go into that now. If you're living in Cibolo, if you want to look at Cibolo, Cibolo Valley Drive is a really good location. Honestly, I say stick to that road if you're going to live in Cibolo. Cibolo Valley Drive, you've got Legacy Traditional School. It's a charter school here. It's very popular. They have some new construction development, Bella Rosa by Century Communities. I sold a few homes there. Really good development there. And this will take you to Slather Park. You can take Cibolo Valley all the way down to Bentwood Road. This takes you to the big park here that I go here pretty frequently. And also, this will take you straight to the Walmart Supercenter in Cibolo, the HEB that I said I love so dear much because it's not nearly as packed. And there's a ton of shops and restaurants. We just opened up a P. Terry's here, opening today actually, which is a burger spot. If you haven't heard of it, it's comparable to In-N-Out. Right off of Cibolo Valley. You've got Taco Bell, you've got Jersey Mike's, Subway, Panda Express is another big one that we frequently go to a lot as well. Chick-fil-A is there as well. So Cibolo Valley, in my opinion, has more food options than Schertz does, comparable to like fast food restaurants, things that you can kind of grab and go. Cibolo has that. Finally, we just got this open within the last year. 2023 was the opening date for a lot of these restaurants. So a lot of people are excited, and I generally prefer Cibolo right now. If I was to buy a home, new construction, I'd probably pick Cibolo, kind of close to the Cibolo Valley area. But what I will warn you of, stay away from FM 1103. Farm to Market 1103 right here takes you to 78. This cuts all throughout Cibolo here, and it turns around and loop all the way to the 35 right here. It's in the middle of the screen. One thing about FM 1103. Little backstory. This construction was supposed to be, this road was supposed to be expanded to a 4-lane back in 2014, maybe even earlier. They've postponed this project because of so much utility line issues. There's so many different POCs in this project. It's a Texas DOT, Department of Transportation project, but they're having to coordinate with the Special Utility District. So GVED, Guadalupe Valley, has utility lines that run along the lines there. Long story short, there have been lawsuits. There's been so much back and forth on this, getting this road expanded. And apparently there's a big issue with the utility lines that run along this, that they're those big pole lines and they have to bury underneath the road. For them to expand this, they have to find a way to get those utility lines under the ground. And that has been a non-stop issue. They started construction in 2023 in the summer, right before school was going to start. They had this construction going on, and the mayor and a bunch of people got together and said, hey, we got to cancel this. It's not going to happen. It's going to cause so much traffic on FM 1103. It just would not be worth it. So they postponed it. And they're supposed to start again in the fall of this year, but I wouldn't hold my breath on it. I don't see them expanding this. And even when they do start it, it's going to take, they said 3 to 4 years to get it done. This is going to be a disaster. So what I mean by that is you want to stay away home neighborhood that back onto 1103. When I say back onto it, meaning that's the only entrance and exit, Steel Creek. That's a neighborhood where I tell people, look, they promised us to get you a stoplight getting out of that area. They have not delivered that, and that's been 2 years. They said that's going to happen. The problem with this road is there's not enough stoplights to let people in and out freely. So everyone's fighting to get on and off of 1103. There's a ton of accidents here. It's just something I avoid. Turning Stone, this is the neighborhood I live in. They were promising us a light to get here for the last 2-3 years, and we've yet to see it. We desperately need a light to get in and out of this neighborhood. It's terrible. So another back road is, I'm going to show you guys here. If you can get to Dean Road, Dean Road is amazing because this one cuts through a lot of these small neighborhoods here, and it gives you easy access to Green Valley, which you can take to Cibolo Valley downtown. Chesmar with Mesa Western is a great neighborhood. These homes are luxury homes in the $700,000, $800,000 price point, but if you can find it in their budget, in your budget, this neighborhood will be ideal because it takes you to Green Valley. There's an elementary school right in front of it. Cibolo Valley Elementary is right over here. A lot of people have been liking this location because you could take Green Valley, you could take Dean, which can take you straight to Old Wieterstein, which is an easy exit to Cibolo Valley in the 35 area. Or you can take Cibolo Valley and Old Wieterstein, you can take that to 1103 up here to go towards New Braunfels, or you can cut through these neighborhoods here. So if you're moving to Cibolo, I would say check out Green Valley Road or Cibolo Valley, right? Because Cibolo Valley cuts in between the two neighborhoods here. So you have Green Valley, and then you have 1103, Dean Road, Cibolo Valley right here. This road, if you can find neighborhoods off of Cibolo Valley or off of Green Valley, you're good. There's also, Green Valley goes all the way up here. There's also a light. Believe it or not, there's a few lights on 1103. Here's one of them. For some of the people live in this Mesa side of Turning Stone, it's an easy exit because you have a light that takes you in and out, right? But if some of these like Saddle Creek Ranch, like by Legend Homes, or there's a bunch of neighborhoods in here, there's no light that gets you in and out of 1103. So it is bogged down throughout the day. So there's your kind of quick rundown of Schertz, Cibolo, FM 1103, FM 3009, Cibolo Valley. Schertz Parkway is a really good location. So depending on your budget, there's all sorts of options, but I would really stay clear of FM 1103. Make sure your neighborhood that you're moving into or you're looking to buy doesn't go under this road, because I'm telling you it's going to be a nightmare for the next 5 years. A nightmare. All right, the next one I want to dive into is school districts, schools, the ratings, kind of diving into all this, showing you where it's at on the map. I get this question a lot, right? Families move in, they PCS, or they're moving to Schertz Cibolo area, or they want to get on the outskirts of San Antonio. So they look at Selma, they look at Universal City. Schertz and Cibolo are very, very popular as well. The school district here is Schertz Cibolo Universal ISD. What you're going to notice is if you look at the Zillow rating or Great School rating, they're not highly rated on the school ratings chart. However, everyone that I've talked to, all the parents love every single one of these schools. So I don't know what it is. Maybe the ratings are off on the great schools, or how they do the gradings on there. I don't know. But everyone I've talked to has said great things about the public schools in Schertz Cibolo Universal ISD. I kind of want to dive into, they also have charter schools. So Legacy Traditional, my son went there for a year. School of Science and Technology, he's going to be going there for kindergarten this year. There's two charters within 2 miles from each other. So if you don't want public school, you want something catered towards more of technology or STEM based, you can choose SST. And if you want more of a traditional based charter school, Legacy Traditional is a great option as well. They also have private schools in Selma, right here off of Evans. You're going to see they have the OLPH, Our Lady of Perpetual Health. It's a private Catholic school. A lot of families like that. That's right over here. And if you want your public school, so if you're living in Cibolo, a very popular one here is going to be Cibolo Valley Elementary. You can see on Google they're giving it good reviews, but for whatever reason it's like a 3 or 4 on the Great School Org rating chart. No idea why that is. Let's talk about high schools. A lot of families, if they have older kids going into high school, I get this question quite a bit. Steele High School is one of the most popular high schools in all of Texas because of their sports curriculum. Their sport program is one of the best. A lot of kids go to Steele, particularly for football or basketball or track, and they usually get into D1 colleges. So it's a prep school to get you into that D1 college for scholarships. Quite a few NFL players that have come from Steele High School like go into professional football. So what you're going to see if you're into that Friday Night Lights, you like the band, you like the sports programs, a lot of people gravitate towards Steele. It's a huge, a really good school. Everyone says great things about it. The principal just retired last year, but she did a phenomenal job there. Highly rated school. If your son or daughter is not into sports as much, maybe they do more of tech-based curriculars, computer classes. I've heard great things about Clemens. Let me kind of show you where both of these are. So Steele High School is going to be right here, a little bit down 1103, Byron Steele High School. Here's Steele. Huge school, huge football program, great school. The problem with Steele, in my opinion, is the traffic in and out of that. This used to be a small town school, and in fact, they're going to have to build another high school with how much growth we've seen in Cibolo, Schertz area. Right now, Steele only has like one entrance and exit to get in and out of that school. During school days and school hours, this area of 1103 is a nightmare. And believe it or not, there's a neighborhood right here called Steele Creek. They're not going to show it on the Google Maps because it was getting really bad reviews all through here because Steele Creek promised to get them a light to get in and out of there, but they put a 1,000 home development here with no light to get in and out of FM 1103. So I'm sorry for those who went to Steele Creek. A lot of them moved away from that for that reason. Some people love it. They have a nice amenity center there. It is a great location, but you have to fight this traffic every single day, and that just adds stress to your life that you don't need, especially during school hours. This is a mess. It's an absolute nightmare. So let's go to Clemens High School here. All right, so for Schertz, so usually if you're living in Schertz, you're going to be zoned for Clemens either way. If you're living in Cibolo, you go to Steele. Generally, that's what happens. However, there's some intertwining. Some people in Cibolo do have their zone for Clemens and vice versa. Of course, that's school zones. You can't really control that, and it does change from time to time. So just a heads up on that. Clemens has a really good, like I said, extracurriculars. If you're looking for STEM-based extracurriculars, I had parents that go there for special needs, autistic programs. They have great programs catered towards autistic. I know there's a few families that went there for that in particular. But really, anything other than sports, Clemens really dominates that. I like the location of Clemens so much better. They've developed Schertz, in my opinion, far better than Cibolo was developed. And I think it's no fault to Cibolo because I don't think either city forecasted the growth that we got back in 2020 to current. We saw an influx of 23,000 people every year within the last 4 years. And that is one of the top growths in all of the US. We saw it in San Antonio. It was insane. So no fault to these small cities. There is downside to these. They can't forecast their budget as much. So they rely on the Department of Transportation to kind of help them build their infrastructure, which, as we all know, DOT is not the fastest by any means. So let's dive into Clemens off of Elbow Road here. It takes you to Borgfield, and this is an easy access to downtown Cibolo. There's that Chick-fil-A I mentioned. Borgfield, it's a straight shot. And I love this, right? Because this can also take you to Schertz Parkway, which there's not too much traffic here. And when there is, you have lights that let neighborhoods in and out of here. And there's lights in between each major intersection here. So it's not as bogged down. It's more controlled. If I was to pick Schertz, I would live off of Schertz Parkway all day, every day. A lot of nice neighborhoods here. Clemens is right down the road. There's some daycare options as well. So if you have little kids, Children's Lighthouse is right here in Schertz Parkway. My son went there for a couple years. They were really, really phenomenal there for the most part until COVID happened. And then you have Primrose at the beginning. Primrose is going to be right here as well, right off of the 35. A lot of people love that school for daycare options. There's also some church options as well, but there's a lot to that. So if you have a child that's going to be going to daycare, let me know. I've got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. Been there, done that. I can tell you all the ins and outs, all the child daycare options around Cibolo Schertz area. And then SST, School of Science and Technology. That's that STEM-based charter school. That's going to be in this general area right here by Northcliffe, the neighborhood in Northcliffe area. That one's going to be another great option for children that excel in science, technology, electronics, and stuff like that. So I would definitely check out SST. So moving on, wanted to cover one of my favorite topics, which is food, shops, restaurants, HEBs, all you name it, downtown, boutiques. Let's kind of dive into that on Schertz and Cibolo area. So if you're a foodie like myself, I absolutely love food. Trying different foods, not necessarily eating a lot of it, just different varieties of food. I love it. So we'll dive kind of into the Cibolo area. If you're going to be living in Cibolo, most of your food options are going to be downtown. It's kind of the newer downtown Cibolo is what I call it. Take 1103 down here. Here's your HEB. This is kind of the newer downtown area, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Technically, your downtown Cibolo is going to be right here where it has Cibolo. That is technically where the courthouse is. But they've developed this area by this new HEB. This just got built last year in 2023. There's so much development coming here. There's so many options. You have Zaxby's, you have Chick-fil-A, you've got Mod Pizza, and P. Terry's just opened up. Eric's Tacos is right off 1103. You've got so many options. If you want a location that's easy access to a lot of these, Falcon Ridge is a great location. It's off of Borgfield right here. Falcon Ridge is over here. That's a great neighborhood. Anywhere near Bentwood Ranch, that's a great location as well. Buffalo Crossing is a good location because yes, it does back into 1103, but you have a back exit here towards right in front of Slather here that can take you to Bentwood Pass. This is a great option as well. To get to downtown or the nice areas to Cibolo where all the shops and restaurants are, I would focus my general area around this circle. Stay away from 1103 as far as possible, please. And then if you want kind of your boutiques, your smaller restaurants, Kindling is an option. It's a great mom and pop restaurant. We go here for date nights. They have great steak and lobster options and risottos. So it's really good, nice cuisines there. Old Main Ice House, so if you're just trying to grab a few drinks, they have an outdoor area for the kids to run around. They have cornhole, food trucks, a ton of stuff to do at Old Main. Harmon's Barbecue, if you want good barbecue. I love Harmon's. I cater them if I'm having like a birthday party or some kind of event at the house. Usually pick up Harmon's if that's kind of what we're feeling. The catering there is fantastic. A little bit pricey as all of the barbecue is these days, but Harmon's is at least really good food. We've got, also shops, restaurants where we have the HEBs. Let's also focus with Cibolo YMCA. It's so weird, we've got all these parks and things that Cibolo and Schertz share quite a bit. There's a YMCA in Cibolo that's brand new. It was opened 2-3 years ago. You also have a YMCA in Schertz as well. What I like about Cibolo YMCA and Cibolo HEB is it's literally like half as crowded as you would find is So yeah, the Schertz Cibolo YMCA combination. I love the YMCA lately. We pay I think $65 a month if you're a USAA member. If you have kiddos, that is one of the best options you can do because they can watch your kids for 2 hours each day. It allows you time to work out, do a cool down. So wife and I and the kids will go drop them off at their daycare, which they love. They actually have fun. They look forward to that, and we get on the cardio equipment, work out for an hour, cool down for 10-15 minutes, and pick up the kids afterwards. They also do once or twice a month they'll do a parents night out for $25 per kid, and they'll watch the kids for about 5 hours, and they do like a pizza party thing there. Both YMCAs do that. I gravitate towards the Cibolo YMCA because there's a lot more parking, there's a lot more equipment available. The Schertz YMCA is a lot more packed. However, it does have a pool, which is nice if you want to try to kind of get your kids into a pool training. But you can use both with that membership. You can use either YMCA you like. I talked about Cibolo restaurants, shops. Let's kind of dive into the Schertz area a little bit and see what does Schertz have to offer for all the food. So diving into this, so now we've got Schertz area. So Roy Richards or FM 3109 will have quite a bit of food options here. So you're going to see, here's that Go Car Wash. I use that quite frequently as well. There's a Starbucks here. They're renovating. It's just temporarily closed. They're just doing a renovation. There's a place called Slim Chickens right here in the corner of 399 and Borgfield. It is fantastic if you're one for a quick chicken fingers, chicken sandwiches. Competes really closely with Chick-fil-A. They also have on 399, they just opened up a biscuit house. So if you like, breakfast spots, mom and pop breakfast spots, they just opened up one over here in this area. there's a complex here right after Garcia's. It's called Biscuit House. It used to be an Anchor Bar, which they moved the Anchor Bar down. It's still there, but they have the Biscuit House. We've tried it. It's phenomenal. Great pancakes, French toast, some of the best breakfast you can have, which is great because we were missing breakfast food in Schertz and Cibolo area. You also have Magnolia's Pancake House, and that's going to be right over here. So there's a Magnolia's right here, Pancake House. That is fantastic. Just a quick tidbit, that place stays busy, so you can actually put your name on the list with the Yelp app digitally, and you kind of walk right in. You don't have to worry about the waiting in line for an hour. Willie's Ice House. This is technically Schertz, but Cibolo's claims it. Love Willie's. If you're going for a date night, some cheap margaritas, some good pizza, good kid food, this is the spot to go. Trust me, you won't be let down. What else we got? We got Bill Miller's. This Bill Miller's, there's one right here. It stays busy. They're not going to show it. Bill Miller's right there. It is. I love Bill Miller's. If you haven't had it before, I gave it a lot of slack like our first year here, but if you're looking for the consistently good breakfast tacos, their bacon and egg and cheese, you can't beat that in the morning for like $2 a taco, bean and cheese, feeds the kids, feeds you, and then you can go to the park down the road. Taco Cabana, Slotsky's, these are pretty good. I'm not sure about the McDonald's. Taquitos Tepa. So this is actually in the HEB parking lot. They have a food truck there, and they actually do birria tacos. Fantastic. If you want some birria tacos, some burritos for lunch, stop on there. That is a fantastic food truck for Mexican food. And I kind of want to show y'all one little thing that I do, and we'll kind of dive into the differences. So we live in Cibolo. I'm off here off of Dean Road, which I do like a lot. But a lot of times I have little kids, so we got to keep them busy. 2 little boys. One thing I like about Dean Road, we live out here in the newer side, Turning Stone. They're never going to build out here. This is a bird preservatory. They will never build out here. There's a bird that's going to be going extinct. It's the warbler bird, I think. So long as that warbler bird is still alive, they're never going to be able to build here, which builders hate. But I love it because honestly, builders are starting to get a little too burdening on the city because we don't have the infrastructure to support all the new neighborhoods. So I love that there's green areas. Like you drive down Dean Road and you're just driving down, like there's trees and greeneries, there's creeks. I love that country feel, and then you can get to your neighborhood, and you can get to downtown, or you can get to all your shops and restaurants. But one thing we do on the weekends, we do this almost all the time. You know, we'll go to Bill Miller's, grab some coffee. They have a Dutch Bros right here. Not over there. Dutch Bros, they just built out here. So we'll go over here, get our food, our coffee, and we'll take the 35, and we're going to take that all the way to New Braunfels. And this is a straight shot, about 15 minutes to get to New Braunfels, which is really nice because you have the McKenna's Children's Museum. The kids love it out there. Das Rec, if you like pickleball, a lot of people are going out there now. Landa Park, if you haven't tried it yet, Landa Park is one of the best parks to bring little ones to. If you have kids under 10 or 12, there's a nice lake that goes through Landa Park, Landa Lake. It's fantastic. You can actually do paddle boating here. It's just a beautiful, well-maintained park. They do, birthday parties out there all the time. So if you're looking for that nice ambiance of river and trees, check out Landa Park. We go out there almost every other weekend, and they've got great German food out here as well. There's Schlitterbahn, which is a nice water resort if you've been to Adventure Island or some of those other ones. Schlitterbahn compares. It's open during the summer. It's right here. It uses actually the river water for a lot of their slides and rides, so you get to get that fresh river water during your water activities there, which is really cool. It's freezing water, but it feels so good in the summer months. And they have the Comal River that you can do tubing down, Texas tubes, tube shoots. A lot of these areas will just kind of go off of the river. You just get your tubes there and go float down the river. It takes you in a nice circle, about 3 or 4 hour tube float if you go during the day. Quick little tidbit on the tubing. I don't go on the weekends. It is completely crowded with tourists, kids that are just kind of drinking out there, being hooligans. So if you're going to go there, go during the day. I've gone tubing in the afternoon around 12 or 1 o'clock with some friends. We take the day off. We go out there for a couple hours. We have a fantastic time. Don't bring canned or glass alcohol beverages, it has to be in a reusable container, so plastic container. That law went into effect 3 years ago because there was so much litter from all the beer cans at the bottom of the river there that they banned it. So, and they will ticket you. I've been out there before. They're on the jet skis polluting the water with their gas as well, but they're ticketing people with who are not using their reusable containers for their alcohol beverage. So just a little tidbit of that, just some things on that you got to know going that river. Okay, so we dove into the restaurants. Now I wanted to dive, where's the best neighborhood that fits all the criteria for least traffic, the best restaurant option, the best school districts. Let me dive into my secrets of where I think, and I sell all throughout Cibolo Schertz quite a bit. The last 5 years I've been doing real estate here, and I've seen a lot of it, right? So I've seen and heard horror stories from past clients wishing they were living in different areas, yada yada. Here's the areas where most of the time people are happy where they moved. If it's Cibolo, let's do one for Cibolo and one for Schertz. If you're moving to Cibolo, and you know, there's different price points as well, so it just depends. Let's just say your average price point is about $350,000. Let's just go off of that. Where are people finding their favorite neighborhood in Cibolo? It's going to be Bentwood. Bentwood Ranch contains a lot of different communities. It's like a big community within communities. A lot of different builders in there. They're all pre-owned homes. There's no new construction going on in Bentwood Ranch. If you can find an area or a neighborhood within Bentwood Ranch, you're going to have the best areas for the schools. Your parks are right in Slater Park's right there. Another one is Buffalo Crossing. So if your budget's $400,000 and up, check out Buffalo Crossing. I really like Buffalo Crossing because it's right off here in Slater. You can take Weidner Road. If you ever do get stuck on 1103, Weidner will take you out of that into Buffalo Crossing. You can take this road, Town Creek, all the way to Green Valley as well. I like when the neighborhoods in Cibolo have multiple entrances and exits. It kind of doesn't bog down the traffic getting in and out of there, if that makes sense. So Buffalo Crossing, Bentwood Ranch area for Cibolo. If you're going to Schertz, so I would look at Schertz Parkway. And in fact, this is technically Selma. If you go to the 1518, there's a neighborhood out here that has, right off of here, Wiederstein Road. This area, all throughout here, is no HOA. So if you have a preference where you don't want an HOA and you want great location to 1518, Schertz Parkway and 35, this area over here is in Selma, but it's off of Wiederstein Road. What I love about this too, I've sold multiple homes throughout here. We're actually under contract on a home over here. There's cul-de-sacs on each road, so it goes, Wiederstein goes up and down, and then you have roads that are straight. So you'll have a cul-de-sac here, cul-de-sac there. So if you live along any of these roads, you're not going to see a lot of through traffic, which is important if you have little kids. And there's no HOA, and the homes are really nice custom-built homes, and they're affordable. Actually, we're under contract on a home for $360,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,100 square feet. Very, very nice home on Dell Lane. Super nice location for Schertz. Technically it's Selma, but I call it Schertz because you take it to Schertz Parkway right there. Another one, if you want to go for more luxury, let's look at, I personally, there are some luxury homes out here, you know, Haley's Cove and all that, off of 1518 behind Randolph. I just don't like the 1518. I don't like the future of that road. When they do construction on there, it's going to be a disaster because there's no major, other than Schaefer Road and Lower Seguin, if you get stuck around this area, there's no in and out. So, I mean, it gets bogged down. And the FN78 itself is a disaster a lot of times. So getting on the 1518, and then if you get stuck all along this way, there's just not many in and outs. I personally don't recommend 1518. They do have Crossvine out here, which is a really nice luxury community, master built homes, you know, Scott Felders, Coventry, your Chesmars, and then you have Highland Homes out here, super nice luxury homes with some land. So if you're looking to get some land and you're going to Fort Sam, we might look in that area. But if you're looking for just your standard, you know, single family home, 350,000, or maybe a little bit more luxury, I would recommend probably, let's see, Schertz Parkway, they have a neighborhood, Benzel Farms. I would do Benzel Farms. If you're in the luxury area, so 400 and 500,000 and up, Benzel Farm was a Coventry home, Coventry neighborhood. A lot of people love this little community. There's also another one my buddy lives in off of Adeline Way here. He's off of this area here. They love it out here. This was Coventry as well. So Coventry had this, and these are older. So these are going to be about 15 plus years old. This is your newer Coventry area, is that Benzel Farms right here. Super nice location, takes you to Schertz Parkway, gets you to up and down here, and you can also take this Mass Road all the way to 1518. So there you have it. Those are the 4 recommended neighborhoods. If I was moving to Cibolo Schertz area, where I would focus at, I just personally don't like crowds. I don't like traffic. I try to avoid all that as much as possible. So there you have it. Cibolo and Schertz are constantly evolving. Every other month, there's some new development going on. There's new restaurants coming to the area. There's new builders that are deciding to build. So this is kind of a comprehensive as now what it looks like Cibolo Schertz area. So if you're going to Randolph or Fort Sam, hopefully this map gives you a really in-depth detail of what's happening around the area, kind of the development, what neighborhoods are kind of best located with to avoid the traffic, and best restaurants. But one thing I will say, I'm going to attach in the link below, there's going to be a subdivision kind of community, new master built communities that are coming up. We're gonna have a map of all the construction areas where the builders are going to be putting new homes at. So if new construction's your route, I'm gonna have that link below. Also, if you want a map of all the parks around Schertz Cibolo area, I'm gonna have that map as well for you below here. And if you're looking for a neighborhood, we did a community overview recently. Venado Crossing, it should be in the top right here in this video. A link to that video is going to be there. If you want to check out Venado, we didn't really cover that too much. It's off of FM 78. It's minutes from Nimitz Park and Cibolo YMCA. So if that's an interest of yours, check out Venado Crossing, Princeton Classic. I did an overview of one of their homes out there. That neighborhood is ideal. It's up and coming. You've had Marion ISD in there as well. Check that video out up there. Let me know what you think. But other than that, until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Let me know if you have any comments, questions. I'll answer everything below. And if you need to get a hold of me, all my contact information is going to be below as well. Send me an email if your criteria. If you're moving to San Antonio or you're PCSing to Randolph or Fort Sam, send me a message because this video is going to be tailored. It's going to be ever evolving as well. So send me a message. I'll walk you through the area, give you all the insight. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.